Hello lovely jobblies, hope you're all having, oh wow that was really British. Alright lovely jobblies, how are you doing today? Before we get started with today's video, you might be interested to know that over on Instagram I use the hashtag CP Photos where you guys can share with me your photographs. If you want to use the hashtag, that'll be brilliant. You get 30 of them on a post, so why not use CP Photos? Because at the end of today's video, I'm going to be featuring a few of your photographs and having a look through the hashtag, and your work might be featured in one of my videos. So it's well worth it to use the hashtag, and it's just great seeing your awesome work and interacting with you guys and seeing what content you are creating. But now on to today's video, and we are going out to a little place called Pickering. Pickering is really famous for like its steam trains. They have steam trains there, but because of lockdown, because of all that, they are not running at the moment. So it means track is completely deserted, and I want to go and take some photos there. So we're going to start heading off to Pickering. We're going to do some photographs, and I've got an idea of maybe trying to do 5 different photographs in a singular location. I think it's going to be quite an interesting video and see what we can do. Let's begin. So we have arrived in Pickering. Now we just got to do a little bit more walking till we are at the location where we want to shoot. Now I think what I'm going to do in today's video is I'm going to try and get multiple different shots in a singular location. So I've got a few ideas, and hopefully this will demonstrate that in one location you can get multiple different results and be really creative about it. So hopefully that's what we're going to be able to do today. Now also we are going to be doing this on railway tracks. Now I do not recommend playing on railway tracks whatsoever, but because they are closed we should be absolutely fine to get the photograph. If this was an active track I wouldn't really bother doing any of this photography at all. I'm waiting for Billy. Billy! Come on bud! Here he comes. No, never mind. So this is the location in which we will be doing the photography right here. So for our first area of photography, we have been doing some long exposure where I've got this composition right here, which is looking pretty spectacular. I've done this as a long exposure as I want to get some of that cloud movement in, but because it's a little bit windy, some of the trees have been gusting as well, so that might affect the shot a little bit. So to counteract that, I've taken one without the ND filter, bumped up the shutter speed to a normal place, and then hopefully we've got 2 versions where one of them might work but one of them might not. But long exposure one as well, there was another problem where I had to underexpose the shot because I was overexposing the sky, but in Photoshop or Lightroom I might be able to just bump up those shadows to 100 and hopefully just bring out the detail when the track's right here, and we'll get a really nicely composed shot. So that is idea number 1 and 2 kind of. And for the third one, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this GoPro right here to sit on the tracks like this. For this photograph, all I really need to do is just compose it, so I'm kind of like, my legs are like this, so I'm sat on the tracks, and then all I really need to do is just take a photograph, and this should be a pretty simple one. Just try not to get the tripod leg in, so I might just shuffle forward a bit. And that is looking like a greatly composed shot straight away, so 3, 2, 1, and boom! So for our next area, what we are going to do is I'm setting up the camera on a timer, and I'm basically just going to stand right there. I'm going to do some poses, and that'll be kind of like just a portrait kind of shot, so that'll be idea number 4, I believe. So yeah, all I need to do is just set this at a timer, and then it will just take in multiple different shots, so I can do different time modes and come back and then review the images and see what we can do. So I'm happy with that composition. Now in terms of focus as well, I don't know if you can see this very well, but right here I've set it on the tracks right here, so that's roughly where I'm going to be standing. So I've had to count which ones they are, and then hopefully now we focus, we walk to the place, and then we just do some poses, and then we're ready. Probably not going to use them ones because I've got a GoPro in my hand, and that's taken about 5 different shots as well, so plenty of variety, plenty of time for me to do different poses and see what shots I can get. And if we have a look back, I'm pretty happy with them ones. A little bit underexposed I think, but you get the general senses. I'm not a model, but there's some okay pics. Right, so for our next area of photography, what I am doing is I'm setting my camera at portrait, because I'm going to use my phone and get a photo of the phone and take a photo of the background, and I'm going to merge both of them in Photoshop. I think a lot of people have seen this kind of photograph done before, but it's a really simple and a really cool effect when done right. For focus, what I usually do as well is I just focus on the bottom of my hand or my palm right here, because obviously sometimes I think autofocus struggles focusing on just a black surface. So just trying to focus on your hand is usually a quick and effective way of just grabbing it really quickly. Looking back at those images, I think they have come out really well, and I think that effect will hopefully work. Sometimes it's the unknown, because sometimes you don't know if an image will actually work until you actually get it back to post, which is like the most annoying thing. But if you've done it multiple different times and you know what you're looking for, then you're most of the time absolutely fine. As you can see right behind me, it's about to absolutely book it down, so we've got to get on with the last area really quickly. I was also going to do something with my drone, but because of the wind I can't. But basically, I've got a bottle of water right here. You see these tracks? What I'm going to do is immediately just drop it on it, get the camera and just take some really quick shots and hopefully just show the droplets splashing on this right here. What I'm doing is I'm just literally putting the camera on the tracks right here, finding my focus. One thing that I would have done actually, which would have been a lot more helpful, is to take the cap off first, put that about there, and then I just need to line it up. I'm going to set it as a continuous mode, so basically it'll just take multiple different images as I drop it. And I've also set my shutter speed quite high. No, there. Hopefully they came out because I've just run out of water. I think we got the shots, so now it's time to head home and see what we got. So we are back from Pickering, and I'm really happy with all the photographs we were able to capture today. The only one I was really annoyed of was the splashing on the railway tracks with water, because I missed the focus. Hence why I was using some other examples and I wasn't showing a before and after, because I did these photographs last year. It was such an amateur mistake to miss the focus, because I forgot to do one thing that I normally do in a situation where I try and get splash things in a certain area, is if I've got a bottle like this and I'm using this to like drop the water, I usually take the cap off, put it on the ground, focus on it, remove it, then drop it in that exact location, because I know the focus would have been perfectly where I put this. But I didn't do that because I was in a rush, because it was literally about to siphon it down, and as soon as I got back to the car, this happened. So I would like to set you a photo challenge. I want you to go to a location and maybe try and get at least 3 different images demonstrating different photography techniques and methods. Then use the hashtag CP Photos, and next week I'll announce a winner. You can do more than 3 photographs if you wanted, but the minimum is 3. And hopefully enough people will enter and try and do this type of photography. I'll be really interested to see what results you get. So before we end today's video, I am going to look through the hashtag and look at some of your photographs. So our first photo today is by Leo Koning, and I really do like this photograph right here. I did something very similar when I was doing my 10 home photography ideas with a shovel, and it just works really cool. It makes a really interesting perspective shot. I like the light leakage that you've got in yours. You used a lot bigger shovel than I did in mine, and I do like the image. I like the slower shutter speeds you have used. I like the dirt that's falling. I like the colours, the contrast, and just the whole image and what it represents. And you know, there's many different ways of interpreting this image, but it is a great and fantastic shot. I've seen some of your work. You are creating some awesome photography work, buddy. Keep it up, and thank you for using the hashtag. Looking forward to see what you can do in the future as well. So our next photographs are by Sarah Matura, and these are some lovely photographs of some fallow deers. These are so detailed. I love the eye. I love the eye and that detail, and how you have captured such wonderful detail, wonderful colours in such a great image. I also like this one where it's kind of like the deer is kind of looking behind from its shoulder. I love the background. I just love the way you have captivated this image, and also you have captured a Bambi as well, which is the most sweetest thing. Very interesting to see where you did these photographs. This looks like a really lovely location, and thank you for sharing these wonderful images with me. I'd like to say just keep up the fantastic fantastic work. Keep up doing this amazing work, and thank you so much for sharing these images with me. It's been amazing to see them, and I absolutely love taking photos of deers. So that has been today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it, and if you are going to take part in the challenge, that would be great, and it's really interesting to see what you guys can come up with. But until next time, stay creative, stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Whoa.